Now that we've seen how to restore or export Azure VMs, their drives, volumes, and volume content, the last thing that we're backing up and restoring using Cloud Backup for Azure is Azure Blob Storage and/or Azure File Shares. So if we ever need to restore something for one of those, we come into Cloud Backup for Azure. One more time, go to our Restore page and click Azure Storage. Now, when you first land in here, there's one extra choice to make, unlike some of the other pages we've seen, and that is up here at the top left. Are you trying to recover content from Blob Storage or from File Shares? The tricky part about having them both on the screen at once is it could be a lot to look at. So, which are you trying to do? I'll do Blob Storage first, and then we'll do File Shares to see if there's really any difference as far as the restore goes. So with Blob Storage, and like with our other backups that we've seen, you would locate the particular backup job that you want to restore from and click on it. And it will show you whatever blob storage is included in those backups. If I select either of these two that I'm seeing in this particular case, I can restore and/or export as necessary. So if I select one and click Restore, just like in the other restore controllers, we have a wizard. Restore the data to the original location and how to handle conflicts, super easy. Leave that selected, click Next. All you really have to do is review some of the settings and click Restore. Put the whole thing back. Can I also restore out of place? Well, for the restore options we saw for VMs, we certainly could, and that changes the wizard a little bit, and we can see here it's no different, though it's fewer decisions to make than we saw in our video on restoring VMs. All I really need to do is hit that, select how to handle conflicts, and then determine where I want to put the blob storage. And we can see here, similar to restoring a VM, you have to pick your subscription, but then you have to tell it which resource group you want that storage to belong to, its region, and its storage account. With that selected, we click Next. Here's where we can review all of our settings, and we click Restore. So we can see that we can restore the entire blob storage back to its original location or out of place. But if our other restores have shown us anything, it's that we can also drill down into these top levels. So if I was to come in here and click on this, now I can see all of the content that's actually in there. Perhaps we need this PDF restored. Of course, we can restore or export, but let's assume I want to put that back. I can click Restore, and once again, in place is as easy as it could be. Leave that selected, click Next. If I want to go to another location, it opens up an extra step in the wizard. We click Next, and it's going to look very much like what we just saw for restoring that top level: subscription, resource group, region, and then after the region, the storage account. But you'll notice here one more step, which is once we get there, you have to put that file or folder, in this case file, back some literal place. So you have to actually target a location for that to go. We're not restoring the whole thing, we're restoring one file or folder, so you have to tell it, yeah, put it in here. Or perhaps even drill down if there's any subfolders in there and you want it to go somewhere in there. Click Next, Review, and then Restore. Now that's for blob storage. But if we come all the way back out, and up at the top left we choose File Share, how does that compare? Well, with File Share selected, again I can see I've got some backups here. So I'll click onto one. We can select it at the highest level. And once more, we can restore or export. You'll remember from our Restoring VMs video, we talked about exporting. Exporting will generate a job that goes over to the job monitor. It will gather up everything that's in what you selected, put that into an encrypted zip. You then grab a password in a separate operation, download the zip and the password, and you're able to access that content to do with it whatever you need to. But in this case, again, let's say restore, and one more time, original location or another location. Looks the same as we saw with Blob Storage. And here we go, identical options. What if I drill down? Well, if I click here and I find a file and click restore, once again, original location, as easy as could be. Restore to another location, looks the same, and it is in fact exactly the same. One more time, subscription, resource group, region, and the extra step when you're at the actual folder or content level of saying, here's where I want that thing to go, whatever that location happens to be. Click Next, Review, and Restore. So even fewer options, really, than our Azure AD Restore, even fewer options than our Azure Virtual Machine Restore, is to restore your blob storage, either at the top level or drill down into folders and files. Same exact thing for file shares. Thanks for watching this short video on how to restore Azure storage using AvePoint Cloud Backup for Azure.